Hello, it's good to see you again. I have here the Dreamer mechanical mod by Timesvape. I don't believe I have seen a review of the stacked form of it, so that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. So here is the little canvas tight pouch that the extra tube comes in, the stack tube. Open that, and the tube here is wrapped in that little blue silicone mesh that the original will come wrapped in. Oops. Take a look at that here. You can see it's already, you may kind of be able to see, it's hard with this light, but it is a fingerprint magnet, of course. I have the stainless steel version, same as the original. And you get your manuals, of course. One of them is just battery safety and the contents of the package. The other is how to actually put your batteries in. We'll get to that in a minute. And like everything else, you get a couple extra O-rings as well. Okay, here I have the single battery tube. I'm going to take the button off. You could take the button or the top off. It really, it doesn't matter how you orientate it. All of the pieces will fit together. You can have it upside down, you know, whatever you want. So I'm just going to screw the button in the bottom, and that's our tube. I have the little hand grip at the top. Again, you can have it at the top or the bottom, but it is a very nice looking stack tube. Elegant, classy, shiny. It's got a nice weight to it. It's very nice, very comfortable to hold. Okay, we'll start with 18650s. I'll show you basically what this little thing is telling you. First thing I'm going to do here is grab my bottom with the button, whichever piece that may be for you. I'm going to take one of my little spacers here, is what they call these, and drop it in the bottom. Take the capless tube, the topless tube, put that down in there. Drop one battery, positive side up. Insert your other battery into the adapter that has a cap. Put that in there, and then you can put your spacer right in between them. And I just want to know, it does not matter whether you have the little side or the big side facing up or down. It's going to have the same conductivity either way. Excuse me. Okay, I've got two 2700s here. I believe 2700s and 21700s both work the same way, a little simpler. One battery in, you just need one spacer, and the other battery in your other side. Just like that. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time with the assembly and disassembly of the button mechanism or anything. There are plenty of other reviews of the single battery form that get into that. It's actually very simple. But I do want to point out something that I will be referencing later. This little pin, if you take your button out and the spring out, take a screwdriver and push out the pin that has the conductive plating on it. I would recommend cleaning that as soon as you get it. I believe you get an extra one too. Yeah, definitely clean that as soon as you get it. I will get into that a little bit later. So again, this mod has been pretty heavily reviewed so far. I didn't want to get too much into it. I do want to look at a couple of the aspects of having it stacked, the pros and cons of the whole mod itself, and that'll pretty much just be the end of the video there. I think all of the pros of this mod are all things that you might expect from pretty much any mod that you're spending over $100 for, or pretty much $100 for the single battery, and I think like $30 to $50 for the stack tube. I'm not 100% sure of the price from different retailers, but I mean, yeah, it's got a nice shape, got a nice feel. I like how it looks. It's cool how you can kind of switch around the tubes and have the grip in different places, whether you like to hold it like that or whether it looks good at the top for you. I think it's nice. The performance is fine. It performs just as you would expect direct output from two batteries. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's definitely not a bad thing that there's nothing overtly special about this mod. You're not really paying for anything overtly special. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, and that's great. No complaints about that. It's a, it's a mech. Now, I have a couple issues with this mod. Some subjective, some I think are very objective. First off being the button got stuck on me when I first used it. All it took was taking that little pin I showed you out, cleaning that with a little water, wet cloth, and it seemed to be fine. After that, I did have to do that 2 or 3 times. I don't exactly remember. But that's a bit, with a mechanical mod, the button getting stuck up in there. It wasn't like it was just a little sticky. It got stuck, and that little pin was a little grimy for me. So that's definitely worth mentioning. Another thing, and I've had this thing for a few weeks now. I think about 3 or 4. They were a lot worse when I first got it, but the threads. I mean, they're not the smoothest. They were really bad when I first got it. Like, it was like somebody just stuck it in a beach, in the sand, and then threaded it together before they sent it to me. It was really grindy, and the threads for the 510 connection have actually gotten, oh, there, yeah. Definitely a little better now. That noise was unbearable when I first got it. Like nails on a chalkboard, it would not stop. With some RDAs it was better, but with a couple of them it was really bad. So I think it takes a little bit more easing in than most mods. I mean, you get a purge mod, and right out of the box those things are smooth like silk. And honestly, I know I'm reviewing the stack tube itself, but aside from maybe the threads of the stack tube, I really don't see any problems. It's pretty simple. You get what you get. It's a tube of stainless steel or copper, depending on what you get. So, hope you enjoyed watching. I'm enjoying this mod. I'm enjoying making these videos. I'm going to try to be a little more frequent with them in the future. But thanks for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram at Coilus Raps. Subscribe, like, all that bullshit that I think I have to say here. Have a beautiful day.